Most Christians know exactly what they were saved from, but almost none of them know what they were saved back to. That one gap, that single missing piece of the story is why so many faithful, sincere, God-loving people are spending their entire lives never walking in what they were actually designed for. Nobody went back far enough to show them what the original design looked like before anything went wrong, before the fall, before the curse, before Genesis 3 became the default starting point for everything we believe about ourselves. There was a mandate. It existed before the brokenness. It was given to humanity, not to a select few, not to the gifted or the called or the ones with something impressive enough to put on a stage, to humanity, which means it was given to you. And the second Adam, Jesus, did not come only to forgive what the first Adam lost. He came to restore what the first Adam carried. And if nobody ever told you that, keep listening, because your life is about to make a different kind of sense. Let's go back to Genesis 1, not verse 28, verse 1. Verse 1 through 25 are not the intro. They are not the warm-up. That is God spending 25 verses doing one thing, bringing order, life, distinction, and abundance into being. He is not decorating. He is building a workshop. He is laying the raw materials for everything that comes next. And then he makes you, not in the image of anything else he made, in his image, the image of the one who just spent 25 verses making something out of what was formless. And before he gave humanity a single command, he gave humanity identity. Not only a moral image, not only a spiritual one, at minimum a vocational one. You bear the image of God who brings order, life, beauty, and purpose into what he makes. You were placed in a world that was not finished without your participation. And then he spoke the mandate: be fruitful, multiply, fill, subdue, have dominion. Not to Moses, not to the apostles, not to the entrepreneurs and visionaries and people with business plans, to humanity, to the image bearer standing in the garden before anything had gone wrong, before the fall, before the curse, before the brokenness. This was the original design, and the second Adam came to give it back to you. So let me say what nobody in most church buildings has ever said directly to you. You were made to make something. Not metaphorically, not as a personality type reserved for the creative ones, not as a calling only for Steve Jobs and the Bill Gates and the people with platforms and 5-year roadmaps. The mandate in Genesis 1:28 was not handed to a CEO. It was handed to humanity, which means it was handed to you, whether you have ever built anything or not. Whether you feel creative or not, whether you have a vision or not. This is not about ambition. This is about design. And I am not saying that every person is supposed to build a platform, start a business, or become some public version of themselves. Some people build families. Some people build rooms. Some people build systems. Some build language. Some build trust. Some build things nobody claps for, but everybody benefits from. But you were made to participate. You were not made only to attend. You were not made only to consume. You were not made to spend your whole life adapting to worlds other people build while never asking what God put in you to build, repair, cultivate, or carry. The church honestly gave you a theology of survival. Scripture gave you a mandate for participation. Those are not the same thing. And somewhere in all of that, the vocation underneath the activity got buried. The rhythms were supposed to form us for obedience. Sometimes they became a replacement for it. We learned how to be faithful without ever learning what we were supposed to be faithful toward. That ends here. There are two groups of people watching this. Some of you are just finding out that that mandate was already yours, that the thing you have been calling a hobby, a quirk, a random interest, or just the way you are may be a seed, may not be random, may be exactly what God planted in you before you were born and has been waiting for you to stop dismissing it. Others of you already know you are supposed to be building something. You've been building. You have a vision, a plan, a Genesis 1:28 somewhere in your notes app. And for that second group, I need to ask you a harder question. What are you building right now? Not the dream version, not the vision board. What are you actually putting your real time and real energy into right now? Hold that. I'm coming back to that. Here is what has been bothering me. Everybody is building. Kingdom people, church people, faith-driven entrepreneurs, purpose-led whatever. Everybody has a vision. Everybody has a plan. Everybody has a verse. And a lot of them are going to get to the end of what they built and realize success confirmed the machine, not the assignment. The business grows, the numbers go up, the platform expands, and now you have the results confirming a direction that may never have been assigned, which honestly is a much harder place to turn around from than if it had just failed quickly. So whether you are just now finding out you were made to participate in something, or you have been building for years and something about it feels slightly off and you cannot name it, this is for you. The sequence only works if you know what you are building. 5 commands, 1 verse. Most people heard 2 of them and misunderstood both. Be fruitful, multiply, fill, subdue, have dominion. Without the assignment, these are just steps. Good steps, useful steps, but steps toward what exactly? Toward whatever you decide you wanted, toward whatever looked like it was working for someone else. That is the problem. The sequence is only as kingdom as the assignment behind it. And when I say assignment, I do not mean you always get a voice from heaven or a perfectly clear 5-year plan. Sometimes assignment looks like a burden you cannot shake, a problem you keep noticing that nobody else seems to care about, a capacity other people keep drawing from, a door that keeps requiring faithfulness and wise counsel confirming what you already know but keep avoiding. That is how assignments show up, not dramatic, just persistent. With the assignment, the sequence becomes the most precise thing you have ever been handed because now every step has a direction. You are not just being fruitful. You are being fruitful with what he gave you. You are not just multiplying. You are multiplying what he put seed in. You are not just filling every space. You are filling the space he designated for you. You are not subduing everything. You are subduing your ground, your plot, your acres. And dominion is not what you conquered. It is the responsibility he entrusted, and it only becomes righteous when it stays submitted to the assignment. Let me walk you through each one. Keep that thing that you're building, or that thing you never knew you were supposed to build, in your head the whole time. Be fruitful, but with what he actually gave you. Quick question. Are you being fruitful or are you being busy? Because those 2 things feel similar from the outside and looks completely different from the inside. Busy is running. Fruitful is growing. And you can run very fast in a direction God never sent you in. And for the person who does not even feel like they have anything to produce yet, fruitfulness does not start with a business plan. It starts with an honest look at what God already put inside of you. The thing you do effortlessly that other people struggle with. The problem you cannot stop thinking about. The gap you notice every time you walk into a room that nobody else seems to see. That may be a seed. It may not be random. An apple tree does not decide to grow mangoes because mangoes are trending. It grows what it was designed to grow, what was planted in it. And that is exactly what makes it useful, not its variety, its faithfulness to its own design. So you may be trying to be fruitful in a field God never planted you in. You saw someone else's harvest and you wanted that fruit. And now you are working twice as hard for half the results and wondering why it feels like you're fighting something. You may be fighting your own design. The question is not what do you want to produce? The question is what did he plant in you? This is your fruit. Everything else is just activity. Multiply, but only what he put seed in. Can I describe someone you might know? Talented, been doing their thing for years, genuinely good at it, but everything runs through them. Every decision, every detail. If they take a week off, the whole thing holds its breath until they come back. They are not building something, they are performing something. And performance requires your presence. Legacy doesn't. Here is what nobody says about that person. The reason they cannot release is not always fear. Sometimes it is because they are trying to multiply the wrong thing. They are trying to scale what God never put seed in. And deep down they know it. So they hold it close because releasing it will expose that it does not actually have life in it. Here is how you know the difference. The thing God put seed in carries life, even when they grow slowly. They do not need constant resuscitation just to stay alive. The thing you are forcing needs your constant intervention just to keep moving. And a lot of us, we know which one we're working with if we get quiet enough. Feel the space He gave you, not every space you can see. Are you fully in the space you are already in? Not are you growing, not are you expanding. Are you fully inhabiting what God already gave you? Because most people are not. Most people are half in their space and half looking at someone else's. Always wondering if they should have gone a different direction, always distracted by a territory that was never theirs to feel. And for the person who is just now realizing they even have a space, feeling starts with showing up to it consistently before it feels ready, before it looks like anything. You do not need to wait until the space is perfect to move in. You move in and you make it yours. You moved into a house and never unpacked. You have been living out of boxes for months. The house belongs to you, but it does not feel like it. And the longer you leave the boxes, the more normal they start to feel, until one day you realize you've been living in your own space like a guest. You did not pick the wrong house. You just never finished moving in. The logic of filling is not everywhere. It is somewhere. Go deep before you go wide. Subdue your ground, not everyone else's. Nobody wants to talk about this step because this is the one that requires you to look underneath what you are building. And most of us would rather not. But your unmanaged ground rarely stays private forever. Real garden, not Instagram garden, real one. If you plant something and walk away, no watering, no weeding, no managing the soil, you know what happens. The weeds do not wait for an invitation. They do not check with you first. They just grow, because unmanaged ground does not stay empty. It grows whatever is most aggressive. The weeds do not care how anointed your seed was. They will choke a calling just as efficiently as they choke a tomato plant. What is the unmanaged ground underneath what you are building while you wait to figure out what you were supposed to build? What are the patterns you keep excusing? What have you been meaning to address but keep pushing off to later? Later is when weeds show up in the fruit. Dominion, it is not what you conquered. It is what He entrusted. Dominion is not domination. It is not control over people. It is not ego with spiritual language attached. It is not using God's given authority to justify exploitation or ambition dressed up as kingdom vocabulary. Dominion is responsible rule over entrusted ground under God's authority for the good of what He placed there. That is it. That is the whole thing. And here is what nobody will tell you. It is not a reward for being impressive. It is not the prize for building the biggest thing. You do not claim it, you get entrusted with it. And the responsibility only remains righteous when it stays submitted to the one who gave it. Genesis 1:28 gives this vocation to humanity, which means you were never excluded from it. But inclusion is not the same as ownership or whatever territory you want. One person's dominion is a neighborhood. Another person's is an industry. Another person's is a family line that was broken for 3 generations until they showed up and subdued the ground. The size is not the point. The faithfulness to the assignment is. And when you walk the sequence the right way, fruitful with what He gave you, multiplying what he put seed in, filling the space he designed, subduing your ground. Dominion is not something you chase. It is something that finds you because you stopped building your thing and started stewarding his. This is what the second Adam restored. Not just forgiveness, not just access to heaven, the original design, the mandate, the vocation, the ground, the assignment. You were not just saved from something, you were saved back to something. So now let me go back to what I asked you at the beginning. If you knew you were made to build, what are you building? And did he assign it, or did you choose it and ask him to bless it? If you are just now finding out you were made to participate, what has he already planted in you that you have been calling a hobby, a quirk, a random interest, or just the way you are? And if you don't know yet, do not panic. Start with what has already been placed in you, what is already in front of you, and what keeps asking for faithful attention. Because you can be fruitful in the wrong field. You can multiply the wrong seed. You can fill a space that God never designated. You can subdue ground that was never yours. And you can call all of it dominion while the actual territory he entrusted to you sits untouched. This is not about building more. This is about finally building right. And before you move on, write one sentence, even if just for yourself. The thing I am building right now is what? Then ask yourself the harder question. Did God assign this, or did I choose it and ask him to bless it?